Feminism is revenge. Rules of modern dating and understanding women. It's complicated. Another street interview. We're gonna comment. I don't think that today's stream is going to take that long, honestly, guys, because I got tired through today's day. In order for you who actually watch these streams and my reactions before we start, I'm gonna make an announcement that I'm having plans for this Twitch channel in June, and I think these plans are going to be big. I don't know how big will it actually be, but again, it depends on my, not only on me, but on what other events are going to happen. So I hope we will somehow be able to manage all of it, and I hope we're going to be growing our Twitch community even more. But today we're going to watch It's Complicated channel, Feminism is Revenge, Rules of Modern Dating and Understanding Women. Off we go. So the opinions captured in this video do not necessarily reflect the views of the creator. So understandable, logically. Let's go.
Why is it more socially acceptable for women to hate men than it is for men to hate women?
Because
Okay.
men are the devil.
Yeah, men are the devil, easiest response. But when you ask them why, let's be honest. Why is it? Even if we don't say that men are more lovable, like they are not more, how do we say it, from the heart, even if we just go in basic topics, I think again, because a man looks for a woman to provide rather than, I don't know, it's complicated. This is the point of this channel. I would have answered like in different ways if they street interviewed me, but I don't have an exact statement at the moment. I'm gonna really pull off my camera right now, so I'm going to look more sideways. Let me just check how I look. Yeah, just a bit more. I'm sorry for those who are watching on YouTube if it takes extra seconds, but yeah, I'm just checking. Okay, yeah, let's go.
Because men are trash. Well, you know what? See, I'm contributing to the stigma. But, like, there's more...
Yeah, like, this is a stupid answer. Give me something normal. Give me an explanation, woman. Give me an explanation.
sus men than there are sus women. It's just facts. And that's all I got.
What does sus even mean? It's like those who want something. Wait, I have a close person to me text. Oh yeah, that's not a problem. So yeah, what does sus even mean in this case? Like the one who is willing to go close to another person, or what? Ah, no, come on, you got to be kidding, man. I'm streaming. One sec, guys. Stream is paused. Okay, how do I turn? Oh my god. Can't talk, man. Sorry, can't talk right now. Streaming for Twitch.
Gotta say about it. So it's a double standard because there's more sus men than there are sus women. The end.
Should anybody be hating anybody?
No.
If it's acceptable for women to hate men, how are men and women ever supposed to get together?
Good question. Good question.
Yeah, awesome question. Wait, I think I have problems. I think you just heard my problems. Okay, so back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Yeah, so wait, what did I skip? Distraction is gonna be so stupid, but like, what did I skip?
Hating anybody?
No.
If it's acceptable for women to hate men, how are men and women ever supposed to get together?
Good question. Good question.
That is a good question.
I don't think it's acceptable for women to hate men.
Thank you. First honest answer. Why is it should be acceptable to people to hate based on gender, on the gender topics? So it's not okay to hate on race. It's not okay to hate on I don't know, homophobics, but women say it's okay to hate on gender just because they're a man. Okay.
It's not really acceptable for women to hate men unless they give us a reason to.
Get a phone call.
Yeah, but not, like, you can't. You can't, I mean, technically, you can't categorize all them in one. I mean, everyone has their individual move towards them. You know what I mean? Everyone needs face-to-face connect. You need to know the person in order to actually hate them.
Hello.
Should men be willing to go to war and fight for a country that hates them?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, good question, Americans.
I don't think war makes sense to me. It makes absolutely no sense to me.
I don't think war is ever the answer.
No, absolutely not.
Ever.
That's not the question he asked. He asked that should man go fight for the country that hates them. He didn't ask whether a war is a solution to a question. He asked if man should do it. Listen to the question. That was the first thing I was taught in my university when I started studying. My first lecture in Ukrainian literature language was listen to the question you're getting asked.
I think men naturally are more athletic, they're stronger than women, whether we like to admit it or not, it's the truth.
If men are more valued in society than women, why would they be the first ones sacrificed in war?
Because wait, men are more valid? No, like not because it takes tough decisions. And tough decisions require more valued people, I guess.
Because they think they're more valued. They're being paid for more for everything. So you put your ass online.
Woman
Yeah, they're getting paid for a reason. I mean, I respect your age, but they're getting paid for a reason.
would never be seen fighting, right? So it was the man's job. It was their duty. Kind of that was like the gender role then. I don't agree with it now, but then that's probably what it would have been.
Have you ever personally been denied the right to vote?
Never. No.
No.
You're in the USA. How can you get denied the vote? I don't know. I'm not even sure. Can No, I think prisoners can't vote in the US, but I think a prisoner can like push his candidacy. How can you get denied in the US? Seriously, please. Please, name me one woman. I dare you, you won't be able.
Would you give up your right to vote if it meant you got drafted into the army?
You're in the
Yes.
army.
Would you give up your right to vote if it meant you got drafted into the army?
Would you give up if it... Oh, I get it. So you go to army, you only vote if you go to army. She would give up. Okay, now I get it. Well, that's all you need to... That's exactly what I said, that tough decisions required more valued people.
No.
I probably would not vote.
What if I told you that voting rights originally required you to be drafted into war and own land?
I remember back in the beginning of the United States, that was the law. I remember that. I read it in books.
And I think like
never
sometimes
knew.
I know like to apply for colleges, like boys have to, or if you want scholarships, you have to agree to be drafted as well.
I got to my university the exact same way. They asked for the paper that I am registered somewhere. I brought the paper. Every guy who I know had to bring that paper in my country. So this is how it is. Men are supposed to get drafted.
Oh, which I think is crazy.
Why are the men of today expected to pay for the sins of the men of the past?
Because they still keep making the same mistakes.
What sins are we talking about?
So is feminism about...
Why is she laughing though? Did she say something funny, or am I that stupid to understand it?
revenge?
No, feminism is about our right to be allowed.
I think it's a base level of equality that we're trying to reach over here, and as long as we can get to that, then I think we're chilling, but we got a long way.
Where aren't you equal? Especially if you're talking Caesar's Palace. I think it's something like Las Vegas, no? Especially if you're talking about Las Vegas. I mean, look at them. What aren't you happy about when the question is tackling equal rights?
Way to go. Yeah. Wage gaps and shit. Absolutely.
What wage gaps? Can you explain what you mean by wage gaps? Have you ever been underpaid just because you're a woman? No? Glad. Next question. I mean, I don't need another question.
Maybe more now than when it started. When it started, women just wanted to be recognized, but some like any other thing, like even religion or anything, it went overboard.
I think we hold
Thank you. She knows. She knows.
a lot of grudges in our society, not just for men, but for a lot of things in the past, and we need to do a better job at staying present.
Why did the women of the past, who had less rights, also have less hatred for men than the women of today?
Because they got TikTok and they got Instagram where they can spoil it all out, and now since you give them more rights, and I mean not even rights, but you find a way to kind of pull them to be equal, they start to using it to their own advantage. It's simple. You think it's why do you think it's so active in the US? Because people in the US, they have those rights. You can look at countries where women are less limited by rights. You think you will hear them hating towards men? No, you won't hear them hating towards men, because this is the truth. This is how it is. In the US, you ask the question, they will answer that question. Bang, that's how it works. Now let's listen to the answer.
Because of social media.
Because they couldn't say anything. They were depending on the man. If they say anything, the man would just like beat her or stop paying for her or ignore her completely.
I think like these women. I know how it is. Kind of makes me a bit proud, you know.
I think it was just a cultural thing. Now we are having more conversations about inequality, and a lot of emotions come up, and it turns into hatred for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Why do you think that young women today feel more oppressed despite the fact that they didn't go through the hard times that older women supposedly went through?
Because social media make them think they're so bad. I mean, come on, if you think, like, take outside all your problems and look at the life how it really is and just enjoy it. It's a lesson that everyone should sometimes repeat to themselves, because this is how it is. Like, you don't need a lot to actually enjoy it. And especially when you have freedom in countries like these, you can just do it.
Because of social media.
Because young people, so they expect everything in there without working for it.
As we've seen times change, we've come to realize that we need to be treated equally. And with the creation of social media, there's come with a lot of like unrealistic standards for women, like along with beauty standards, as well with like...
What do you mean unrealistic standards for women? So the body positivity model thing was just like the hard standard. Yeah, okay, my bad. I think it's just too complicated for me to understand.
Like behavioral standards, like there's a lot of pressure on women to act a certain way and look a certain way in media. Like that.
You think there's no things for a man? It's for everyone. Everyone should be careful how they look and how they are in media, because you get paid for what you do. Actions have consequences. Actions, every single action has its own consequence, and you can't hide from it. Now with internet being so popular, you definitely can't hide from it. It's like this. It's life, ladies and gentlemen.
That is one thing that you cannot deny. And whereas like, and yeah, there's the same thing with men where it's like 6-packs on billboards, but you see a lot more women plastered on these billboards with these like beauty standards and like behavioral standards, especially depicted in movies.
Why don't we acknowledge that if women had it bad, men usually had it worse? Weren't men also oppressed?
Well, there's always been an oppression, because there's always been more like even white men. They were richer, and then there were richer and kings and this and that. So there's always been oppression, and there'll probably always be, even though.
True, this is because this is the reality of life. There has been oppression from the moment people were created, and this is how it's gonna be. Unfortunately, there's no utopia in this life. You can't have everyone being happy with everything. And if you think about it, if you're happy with everything, you're not happy actually.
It's not a good thing.
Didn't men have harsher tasks placed upon them? Weren't men sacrificed under more hazardous conditions?
Perhaps, but they also required women to do specific things, and they were not allowed to do things that men could do.
Back then, women weren't allowed to work. They had to stay home. So that's why it seems like men had all the trouble.
They were expected
not divorce
to
argument.
take care of their families, their wives, put food on the table, like back in the day, and they didn't, like, they just did it. They didn't care about, like, say,
They didn't question it. They realized this is how it is.
coal mining or, you know, like jobs like that. Like, they didn't think about the health stuff and like that.
Right. Do you know how many men died building the Hoover Dam?
Yes, or the railway in BC. Like, you know, like it was expected of them, and they just went to work, and the women were supposed to take care of the house. And
if society was controlled by men, patriarchy, how would feminism be a movement that's gained traction without the help of men?
check this out. You guys need to calm down on feminism because I'm not taking out trash.
I mean, that crane behind you, how'd you like to be crawling up on that construction crane, right?
Now I got her argument. Wait, can we just come back a couple secs?
Feminism be a movement that's gained traction without the help of men.
Check this out. You guys need to calm down on feminism because I'm not taking out trash.
I mean, that crane behind you, how'd you like to be crawling up on that construction crane right there?
Are we allowed to? I'll do it right now.
All right, let's do it.
I wouldn't.
It took men to back the women, but the women started it. I mean, we still, even though we're feminists, we still need men for just to have babies.
Patriarchy doesn't mean that
Yeah, at least she knows.
men control every single narrative out there. I just think that because men are typically in those more powerful positions, that's what creates it. But it doesn't.
It reminds me like of a team. You know, a man and woman should work as a team, and in every team, you like it or not, there is a leader. And you know, there's a leader, there's a captain. And that's mostly the role of the guy, to be that captain, you know, to lead that team to success, to glory. And, you know, I mean, it's not a very good position, honestly. It's a tough position. Some women like to try it. Well, I honestly don't mind. I just want everyone to do a good job. And if we count statistically, men are just better at doing this job than women.
Doesn't mean women still don't have a voice.
Where did all these laws come from that protect women and punish men?
Overbalance. Before, nobody would, like, women were completely left to themselves, and they started taking power and they went overboard. We should be more in the middle.
Exactly. Once you get that power, you are not giving it back.
I'm not sure exactly what laws you're talking about.
Well, like family courts, things like that.
I don't know where they came from, but actually when I was little, I really wanted to be a divorce attorney for dads because I felt it was really unfair that they weren't well represented.
Oh, that's so
Can you
sweet.
think of any behaviors people used to have that are no longer acceptable by today's standards?
Well, the husband were coming back from work and expecting his wife to be all dressed up, all with the meal on the table and the pipe and the glass of scotch. And
I disagree. It's only if the family decides so. It depends on the family. It always depends on the family. If the family decides that this is the best for them, it's completely fine. It's not illegal. He's not bullying her. She's not getting bullied. Everything is under law and everyone's happy. That's the most important thing.
it's too much.
You can't cancel somebody for something that, like, the cancel culture is like they go back and try to cancel people for stuff that happened a long time ago. But that was a different time, you know? So in that time, it was okay. Now, the cancel culture in this day and age, I feel like are a bit much because some of the things are like, yeah, I understand. But some of the things are like, okay, like, you know.
So should people be held accountable by today's standards for behaviors that were acceptable at the time?
Yes, they should be held accountable.
Isn't that cancel culture?
Yes and no. I think there should be a conversation so that people can grow, but to expect people to
I'm just curious how he got this girl to interview. Like everyone's in the night and the night, then he just, I don't know, texted this girl and like, hey, let's go in the middle of the day, you know, under a nice big tree. How does this guy even work?
have been perfect their entire lives, and to hold them to what happened in the past, I just think it's not okay.
History literally repeats itself, from like crimes to clothing to just everything, treatment of people, everything literally gets repeated.
Today we have mass shootings, climate change, the culture war, inflation, poverty, human rights, cancel culture, etc. What's better and what's worse?
Wait, is he really asking to categorize all those things? I'm listening.
All of it is horrible thanks to Joe Biden.
No, come on, like, I mean, I have my thoughts on that man too, but like, this is such a, like, you know, straightforward answer. I mean, this is also a weird answer because it doesn't apply any explanation. It just names you one person and like listen to this again.
Cancel culture, etc. What's better and what's worse?
All of it is horrible thanks to Joe Biden.
It's like, yeah, Biden's bad. That's why all of that is bad. Like this is the problem of the last 2 years. Literally everything he named was a problem. To like, it's a way longer problem, and it will get fixed way longer. Just that now it actually pops up a bit more. So you know, you can already see this balloon that was falling, getting more full, and now it's just popping up. You're seeing holes from it. That's it. That's all that's just happening right now, and all the problems from that balloon are just getting out.
There's bad things in our history. There's good things in our history. There's bad things right now. There's good things right now. I think it's all about what you choose to focus on.
Yeah, she's all about positivity. Like, even look at this girl. Like, she's all you just look at her and talk to her, and you just feel this positive energy. You know, good for you.
What does your ideal society look like?
Great economy, low gas prices, low interest rates.
Freedom, people expressing who they are, not judging other people for who they are.
Would you agree?
This is like too different because she's going to economics, to money and all that stuff, and she's like more of an utopian, you know, like this philosopher, like this angel. Yeah, like freedom. No one judges anyone. Everything's fine. And both ways are good. Like, you know, if the person's happy and doesn't annoy anyone else, I'm fine with that.
That when our country was founded, there were a lot of mistakes made, like, for example, slavery?
Yes.
Yes, but back then they didn't know any better.
Since we were a young country, would you compare those errors to the mistakes a young child makes until he's mature enough to know better?
Oh, that's a tough question.
That's such a serious question. Let me think about it. I would probably go with... that's a tough. I can't go yes and no, because on one hand I want to say yes because you know, they have no history of how it should work from their previous you know, people, like previous presidents, previous members of this country. But on the other hand, I want to say no, because how long will this process go? I mean, how long is a developing country plus all those people that were planning? I mean, it's a country, it's not a baby. I don't know, that's a tough one, honestly.
Because we don't know what they were thinking back in the day.
To the mistakes a young child makes until he's mature enough to know better.
Up to a point, yes.
Would you consider the society built by men in the past had mistakes as well?
Yes.
What are those mistakes?
Well, the fact that, like, the right to vote, you had to own a land, have a certain standing. It's the land is for everybody.
Yeah, I would Sorry for that mistake. Now, I would kind of, disagree on those points, but again, I'm not the... I'm not in the mood, honestly, to disagree a lot. All I'm gonna say is, I believe that those who have more knowledge and have more power should be the right to vote, should have the bigger right to vote. But again, it's just my opinion.
So it's not just up to a few to decide what's going to happen.
Is it fair for the women of today to hate the men currently for the mistakes of the men in the past?
No.
Do you think the women do hate the men of today, and if so, how?
Maybe, because they're holding on to grudges of the past.
A lot of times we blame other people for our own emotions and things that we wish were different.
Are you a psychologist or what? Are you trying to get stuck in my mind? Like, what is this calm voice? I'm having troubles listening to you. And I don't mind those problems, but damn, they are problems. They are troubles.
Rather than taking accountability ourselves.
But we need to look forward, move forward, and go from there.
Does a mother continue to resent her child for all of the bad things children do when they're developing?
No, I don't think so. A mother's love is unconditional.
It is sometimes that you do kind of hold on to things. That's why it's best to let things go on all levels. Mother, wife, sister, doesn't matter. Just learn how to deal with it and let it go.
Why do women say the past doesn't matter?
Was she on a phone call with a colleague or what? Just imagine you're going, I don't know, is this her mom or something, or even friend? You're just going there and like, yeah, hi, oh, 1 sec, this guy just asked me to do a street interview, and she goes like, no, keep me in the call, I want to listen to like what you're doing. I mean, if it's a mom, she looks foreigner, and that could be her mom. Let's listen to her accent.
Matter when it comes to their body count, but the past does matter when it comes to the historical oppression they didn't personally experience.
You need to answer this. I don't understand what you're saying. I haven't got a clue what you're talking about. What's body count? Body weight?
Yeah, she doesn't know what even body count is. I don't blame her, honestly. I think if you ask most people in my country, they won't answer like straight away. Like, it's not a common thing.
We're English, right? So body count's body weight, right?
Oh, she's getting married. Oh.
Body count means how many people you've been with.
Oh yeah, this is a wedding dress. Okay, congratulations. Your guy's the lucky man.
Oh, how many people I've been with? Oh. Why do women don't remember how many people we've been with? Listen, no one needs to know how many people we've been with. That's secret to us, right? Like, I've been one man. I've got married today.
Oh, congratulations.
Married today.
Okay.
15 years, one man. He don't need to know my history.
Check this out. Your body count matters to all men and women. Body counts matter.
Do you think body count matters more to men or to women?
Doesn't matter.
Okay, so then once again, why does the past not matter, but the past does matter? Why does history matter when it comes to like women's rights?
Because it should. I'm not being funny. When I'm standing there with a man or my bloke, and next minute it's like, I had sex with that person. But hang on, you told me you had sex with 5 people. So now I'm on the 10th person that you're counting. So it does matter. You know.
But I'm saying your personal history doesn't matter.
No matters.
The history does matter when it comes to women's rights.
Well, we're women. We're complicated people.
Exactly. Like this is. I won't even conclude this video that we just watched. Like, feminism is revenge. It's too complicated. You can't even fully often explain what you're talking about in these senses of questions. So, guys, this was the reaction to the video called "Feminism is Revenge: Rules of Modern Dating." For those of you still staying with me on Twitch, stay alive. We're gonna watch a couple of other videos. For those of you watching on YouTube, thank you for watching. You may like this video, you may subscribe to our channel, you may also try to check my Twitch streams. I stream Mondays and Thursdays at 11:30 Central European time. If you're watching this from the US, it's, I guess, 6 hours, 5:30 Eastern time. Yeah. In any case, thank you for watching this reaction. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in my other reactions. And for those of you who still want to watch this on Twitch, stay here.